waiting, expecting to hear from heaven. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. Bless you.
Shalom.
Shalom. Hey, Facebook Live, we back on. As usual. Getting ready to get it in. One more time. Yeah. Here we go. Let me get the conference line going. Let's see here. Hope y'all had a Baruch day, blessed day. Okay, y'all start hitting your friends list, please. Let folks know we on one more time. Yes. Let's see here. Y'all hit your friends list. Come on, y'all. We need to get some people up in here. Let's see here. Okay, let me figure this out right quick. Let me see, y'all. Give me 1 second. We're gonna get it. Hey, Anna, Alyssa, Jack. Shalom, young lady. About to get it in. Let's see here. Trying to figure out what I'm gonna teach y'all. Okay, yeah. Okay, let me see. Yep. Okay. Let's go this route then. We about to get it in, y'all. I'm just trying to figure out what I'm gonna teach, and I think it just came to me. So we'll see what happens. Okay, I didn't do that right. Okay, we about to get started for real, y'all. Give me one more second. That didn't work again. Okay, we're about to get started, y'all. Hit your friends list. That's what's up. Okay, here we go. Now I just need to look at my Facebook one more time. Yeah, share the video. Thanks, sis. Y'all share the video and invite your folks. Share the video on your pages, please. Invite your folks. Let's get it in. Okay. Okay, I got it. All right, let's get ready to go. Quick prayer. Spirit of the living Yah, we love you. Thank you for this opportunity to come before you once again. Humble as we know how, trusting and believing you, asking you to send a relevant word to this here, your people. We trust, believe, and thank you that it will be done in the master name of Yahudah HaMashiach. We only pray. Hallelujah, hallelujah, and amen. Let's get it in, y'all. Where am I? Yeah, right here.
Conference muted. Conference recording started.
I want to thank everybody for chiming in. This is IAmYahudahYisrael, also known as Pastor Derek Mann, on the evening scripture study on this 21st day in September 2017. Let's dive into the word. I'm led right back to where I was with the message. It's a part 2 of no ulterior motive. That is so important. So let's deal with it. So let's go to John 5. St. John 5 and 43 again. Again, I didn't know what I was going to preach the other day. I ended up preaching John 4 because I was trying to get to John 5 off of seeing the scripture on Occult Reader B's page. And so Yah opened up something for us, opened something to me to teach on this topic. He opened it up, and now that it's open, there's some more food in here for us. So let's go eat, y'all. John 5:43 again, same thing, y'all. Let's do it. It says, "I come in my Father's name, and you receive me not. If another shall come in his own name, him you will receive." It's tough dealing with people that have an ulterior motive. Flat out, you really can't do business with someone that has an ulterior motive. You can't do it. It is not going to work out. They'll undermine you. They'll stab you in the back. They'll use what you got as an opportunity to really do what they want to do. Everyone is with you is really not with you. And like even out here on this coast, in this area, in in California, in this part of California, like in the Bay, you got folks that I think this is one of the worst places you can be in as far as disunity, and how people are more like opportunists. They ain't messing with you unless they see what they're gonna get out of it up front. It's like it's like the crab in the barrel type of syndrome that's over the Bay Area. You know, a lot of talented people out here, but they hate on one another. And you know, folks don't know nothing about putting in together. You know, because folks got their own agenda. And that is a work of the flesh. In some areas it's worse than others. Just like there's different demonic attacks over different regions and different areas. And one of the ones that's out here is, again, hater, opportunists. And I'm using that to relate, but it's completely true. It's completely relevant. But it's completely true how people get out. You know, they want to get to know people in your Rolodex or something. So they'll team up with you, but, you know, they really want to get to someone else. Or they want to find out what you're doing so they can try to steal it and go do it themselves. You even got people in so-called church that's like that. If you bring an idea to them, they'll listen, and then they'll start avoiding you because then they're going to try to do it for themselves. Just satanic. It's just medieval how people get down. And one of the things that Satan uses against believers is that type of stuff, that worldly spirit that crept into the assembly. Well, you got to look at the Messiah and what he's really saying here in 5:43. He said, I come in my Father's name. In other words, he came in the volume of the book. Remember in the garden, he said, not my will, but thy will be done. You can't do nothing in the natural with someone that got their own will, their own agenda. That's why, like, out here, you got to, like, pay people. Sign them up so they can't stab you in the back and pay them because there is no love. Don't nobody know how to come together. Like, I got this little bit, you got that little bit, you got that little bit. Let's come together and make it happen. You'll have someone that come with the little bits trying to figure out how they can steal what you got so they can have it all. And that's just the works of the flesh. But you notice how the Creator knows people. And he knows the makeup of people. And he knows that sinful, fallen nature that ain't cool at all. It just ain't nothing cool about it. And that's why I appreciate Saul to say, in my flesh dwelleth no good thing. He got the revelation. Well, Yah understood that. So when he took on the body, he did it in a way to set the road map for the victory. He had every intention on completing the mission. In order to complete the mission, even when he robed himself in a body, he knew it wasn't going to be about that body. It wasn't going to be to magnify that body. That body could not have its own agenda. Because if the body had its own agenda, the body would have went against the spirit. And that's the problem with humanity. When we have our own agenda, we go against the spirit. We go against Yah. We preach stuff that we shouldn't preach because it's a fleshly agenda. We go places we shouldn't go because it's a fleshly agenda. We ignore Yah in certain parts in our life because we're trying to please our flesh as well. Word teaches you can't serve two masters. You can't do it. Either you'll love the one and hate the other, or you'll cleave to the one and despise the other. But you can't serve Yah and your carnal nature and mammon, it says. Money, and money represents your life, your agenda. And so to get to the real gospel, not of this new grace that they preach, that has been turned into lasciviousness, a platform for fake grace that allows people to live devilish. Scoot that out the way. And let's deal with the real deal. The Messiah himself said, I come in my Father's name. So not only did he wear his Father's name literally, Yahushua, which means Yah is salvation, hallelujah, which means praise ye Yah, but the Father name is the tetragrammaton, YHWH, aka Yahuah. Short version, Yah. Yahuah means Yah self-existent. Yahuah means Yah self-existent. Yahusha means Yah is salvation. So the Messiah literally came in his Father's name. But it's deeper than that. Not only did he come in the name that's above every name, not only in this world but also in the world to come, but he also came in his agenda. The Father sent him with agenda. That's why he said, I come in the volume of the book. He came with the Father's agenda. Completely his agenda. His agenda as a man, being found fashioned as a man, he humbled himself so that he wouldn't interfere with the agenda of the Messiah. I mean, of the Father. Being found fashioned as a man, he was the son. He was born a male, so he was the son. He wasn't born a female. He wasn't the daughter. When the fullness of time was come, Yah sent forth his son made of a woman. Our mothers made our body. Miriam, they call her Mary, made his body, the son. The son had a will. So in the Garden of Gethsemane, when it got rough on him, he said, I would that this cup pass from me, because he was acknowledging the will, the desire of the son, the desire of the body. But then he concluded, not my will, but thy will be done. He allowed the will of his flesh to take a back seat. He couldn't have an ulterior motive and still walk perfect and still obey Yah. That's why the Messiah said, if any man come after me, let him deny himself. If you don't have self-denial, if you're not willing to suffer in the flesh, you can't serve him. If you don't have that, you will go to the club still. If you don't have that, you still get drunk. If you don't have that, you'll still get high. You'll still lie. If you don't have that, you're not going to give to the ministry properly. When you get your money, that's your money. You work for it. Because you got the will of the flesh. See, the carnal mind is enmity, which means hostile. Look it up. Romans the 8th chapter. It's hostile against Yah. It has its own will, its own way of doing things. And it goes contrary. It's hostile. Enmity against Yah. It is not subject. Your will not submit to Yah. It is not subject. It will not subject itself. It will not come into submission to Yah. Neither indeed can be. It's impossible. That's why the gospel is the death, burial, and resurrection. When you received the Messiah, you had to die. There was a spiritual operation that happened that literally rendered you dead. And you really need to know that. And if you don't know it, let's go read it then. Because you really need to know that. Let's go to Romans the 6th chapter. You got to die. We done read these things before, but I mean, it is what it is. Don't think Moses was running around here with a preacher book in the wilderness. He was just preaching truth, period. And it wasn't like it was a preaching message. It was the conversation from Yah telling them that they got to obey and live right. And that's exactly what the true gospel is. It ain't nothing slick. I don't need a preacher's book, turning pages for a bunch of stuff I done typed up and all that. The Ruach HaKodesh should be speaking freely, flowing freely. So here we go. Romans the 6th chapter. We back at it. What shall we say then? Shall we continue in sin that unmerited favor may abound? The King James Version said grace, right? It says no. Yah forbid. No. How should we that are dead to sin live any longer therein? You had to die. The word is classifying us as being dead. How shall we that are dead to sin live any longer therein? Knowing that so many of us was baptized into the Messiah, we're baptized into his death. That spiritual operation took place when we received him. We were supposed to be cut to our heart from sinning and going against the Most High. We're supposed to admit in our spirit and ourselves his way is right, our way is wrong, and now we want to follow him. A spiritual operation took place because our carnal mind cannot obey him. So we died to who we were, and now we're supposed to be going through the mind renewal process according to Romans, the 12th chapter. I beseech you by the name, by the mercies of Yah, that you present your bodies a living sacrifice, Yahweh and acceptable unto Yah, which is your reasonable service. And be not conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. We're supposed to be renewing our mind according to the word. Because the old mind we have is carnal and is enmity against Yah. It is not subject to the law of Yah, neither indeed can be. Our evil nature is not going to obey him. But we've been baptized into his death, and now we rise up to walk in the newness of life. Because if we don't die, if that nature don't die, it's going to run its own agenda. You're going to be double-minded. You're going to be lukewarm. He said, I would that you were hot or cold. But since you're lukewarm, you're going to be both. You're going to be mixed up. You should be able to relate only. You should be able to relate with Saul. They call him Paul, right? And in Romans the 7th chapter, he said, when I would do good, evil is present. You should be able to relate with that because your evil nature is still lurking. But you're supposed to render your evil nature dead. And then in Colossians, it says mortify, which means to kill the deeds of the flesh. That's why you got to die daily. That's why the Messiah again said, if any man come after me, let him deny himself. You got to have your self-denial game together. He that is suffered in the flesh has ceased from sin. You got to be willing to suffer in the flesh, telling yourself no because you're dead, mortify, kill, or render yourself to be dead. Admit that you're dead and live like it. Don't change your mind. Don't put your hand to the plow and look back. You're dead. Therefore, we have been buried by baptism into death. We were spiritually baptized into his death when we received him. That like as the Messiah was raised up from the dead by the power of the Father, even so we should walk in the newness of life. If we have been planted together in the likeness of his death, we should be also in the likeness of his get up, of his resurrection. Everyone running around talking about the rapture, or everyone talking about the resurrection, the get up power. You got to be dead in order to get up. If you still live in the resurrection, it's not for you. Knowing this, that our old man is crucified, killed with him, that the body of sin might be destroyed, that henceforth we should not serve sin. 7 verses a kicker, y'all. Not only the kicker, it is a kicker because there's many more. He that is dead is freed from sin. We're supposed to be dead. Because if you are operating under the will of the flesh, you can't please Yah. A double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. That's what James 1 teaches. A double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. Lukewarm. Even though the false gospel that's going around is telling you you're going to be lukewarm. You're going to be double-minded. Because we're only human, right? We serve him and sing songs every Sunday, right? Or for the Hebrews, every Saturday, right? Every Sabbath, right? We serve him on this particular day, but then all through the other days, we do us. Double-minded. I would that you were hot or cold. We ignore scriptures like that. I would you were hot or cold, meaning you can't be both. You can't serve two masters. So many scriptures remind us of that, but we get redoctrinated when we go to church and hear all this this false gospel, this once saved, always saved, this sinner saved by grace, this devil going to heaven crap that they preaching, which is an abomination. It's not true. And through revelation of knowing the makeup of man, even when he was found fashioned as a man, look at the blueprint that he had. He came in the volume of the book, and look at what was written of him. I come in my Father's name. I come in his name literally, and I also come with his agenda and his agenda only. He wouldn't even let that man call him good. Because if he accept him calling him good in the flesh, then he might think he can mix his good with Yah's good. He was found fashioned as a man, so he had to cop to a lesser. It pleased him in his will to bruise him, to take his wrath out on the body, on that flesh, on the flesh that he put on, so he wouldn't do us. It pleased him to bruise the flesh. He gave the flesh up when the religious folks was attacking him. He wouldn't even take up for himself. He said, yeah, you can sin against me as a man, but you can't go against the Ruach HaKodesh. You can't go against Yah. You can't go against his word. You can't go against his will. I'm not going to take up for this flesh. Even though his flesh never sinned, he didn't come to create a carnal doctrine, the deification of a man. He wasn't going to do it. He didn't do it, and he wasn't. Talking about honorable anybody, honorable Elijah, whoever, a father, run around calling a man a father. Heck, when you look at the lives of these people that was religious, yeah, they had some good philosophies and some real legitimate complaints. And the complaints is real. You had some folks that was devilish as heck, going around killing everybody, stealing all their lands, raping and doing all kind of stuff. So you got folks that has a religious position, not the truth, but a religious position, definitely founded on some real complaints. But when you look at their personal lives, all the women they was raping, all the adultery they was committing, because they had two agendas. Because the carnal mind is enmity against Yah. The natural man ain't cool. He can smile and brush his teeth and floss. Female can balance a book on her head, but you got some folks with some lofty titles: doctor, teacher, lawyer, a father inside of the ministry, bishop. When you carnal, oh, you sleeping with little boys and committing fornication, cussing in lines, preaching for filthy lucre's sake. All kind of filth is going on in the name of religion because the preachers and the holders of the religion are carnal. Preaching a carnal doctrine. You can't even be perfected by all these carnal commandments, rules and regulations and festivals. You got folks looking for festivals. You got folks looking for ephods and wardrobes and I ain't cutting my beard, my hair, I'm growing dreads and all that fun stuff. I mean, that's cool if it's a fashion statement or you trying to relate with your people, trying to get your heritage back. You don't want to wear the European style of clothing. You want to go back more to the Hebrew Israel type of a look. That's beautiful. Can't hate on that, but you ain't going to get no brownie points with Yah. All that stuff is carnal. Man, Yah don't see as man see. Man look on the outer appearance, but Yah, he looks at the heart. What's going on the inside? If you clean the inside, then the outside is going to be clean. So you got to get it. He said, I come in my Father's name. I come in my Father's agenda. I don't have no ulterior agenda. I'm not acting like these folks. Folks want to get with you to see what they can get from you. You hit somebody up and say, "Hey man, let's why don't we hook up and start a little taco truck or something." You know what I mean? I know where I can get me a good taco truck. You know what I'm saying? And I know you got them good recipes. You know what I mean? I just came into a couple of dollars. I buy the taco truck and you go and cook and we can go and get the spot. I know where the spot is. And we can go on and start selling tacos. You say, you know what? That's a good idea. I said, man, you know how we love them tacos you do. And I got this money. Joker hang up and then try to find out where the taco truck is I'm trying to buy. And then they call in their cousin. Man, you got some money? I know we can get a taco truck. That's how people are. Ulterior motive, agenda, wicked, evil. Type of person to smile in your face and stab you in the back. Hanging around with you in love with your spouse, though. Winking at your spouse and all that. But pretending like they like you. Want to really date your daughter and all that old crazy stuff. Smile in your face, but they got a wicked agenda. Folks got many complaints about how people be using them, being their friends for a reason other than for them. You think you got to complain like that? Don't nobody got a bigger complaint about that than y'all. You got folks that come to what they call church because their marriage is in trouble. Their money is funny. The doctor told them they were sick. Ulterior motive. And then as soon as they get healed, they gone. Like he warned that man at Solomon's porch. The one that he told him, pick up your bed and walk. He couldn't make it down inside the pool. Well, he healed him and he warned him. He came back to the temple and warned him and caught up with him and told him, you better stop sinning, at least something worse come upon you. You got that physical healing, and people with ulterior motives get what they want and they'll leave you high and dry. You can't trust folks. Folks is evil. They scam. Beautiful smile, though. Talk all the right stuff until they get what they want. Women, y'all should really know that. Player push up on you, married, hide, took his wedding ring off, talked all that good stuff, meeting you at the club, repeatedly took you to lunch, lying to his wife, got you in the bed, tore your boots off, and then left you. Tore your heart up and flushed it down the toilet because he never did like you. He wanted your body. You got women pushing up on men, checking the size of his wallet. She don't care nothing about the size of his slacks. She want to know how's your FICO score, what your wallet look like. Get some items broke off, and then they'll leave you high and dry. That's the world we living in because that's the works of the flesh. Ain't nothing in the world but the lust of the eye, the lust of the flesh, and the pride of life. It's of the world, not of the Father. And unfortunately, you got carnal people opening churches. You got carnal people that's inheriting ministries, going to theological school, but they sleeping with everybody in school. They slept with everyone in the choir. They're carnal. They leave the pulpit, they leave the choir stand, they leave the instruments, and they cussing and clubbing and doing some of everything under the sun because they're carnal. So you got to get to revelation, snap out of this religious state of mind, and let's get to the truth. He said, I come in my Father's name. I come in my Father's name. I come representing him, not me. Not my will be done, but thy will be done. Who is saying that? Yeah, she fine, but it's not his will that I sleep with her. Yeah, he fine, but it's not his will that you sleep with him. Yeah, I'm mad, but he said be angry and sin not. Yeah, I work for the money, but he told you to sow, that his house might be filled. That the ministry would have to give to them that need. Told you not forsaking the assembling of ourselves together. He told you to show up or blow up. Folks got a show up schedule for everything, for their education, for their children, for their own personal education, for their job, because that's how they get their money. When it comes to y'all, I can't make it. I just can't make it. Don't have no commitment to y'all. Get their spiritual food from, Facebook pages and YouTubes. And there's nothing wrong with that if you're dedicated to a ministry that's feeding you and you're obeying them to how to rule over you. You're a part of a ministry and you're faithful to it. Say if you live somewhere else and they preaching a bunch of garbage other place or whatever, and y'all finally pricked your heart and you're changing and growing, that's cool. But you got folks that are surfing from ministry to ministry to ministry to ministry to ministry, and you was taught growing up, you can't eat at everybody's house. But folks, in order to avoid accountability, in order to be held accountable, that's why folks like big ministries, because there's no accountability. If they don't show up, don't nobody know, ain't nobody gonna say nothing. Because they got an attitude, only God can judge me. Mind your business. When the word teaches that our lives is an open book, read of all men, we ain't got no doggone secrets. You asking me about my situation, I'm going to tell you. I ain't got no secrets. Our life should be an open book, known and read of all men. Ask what you want to, and I'm going to tell you the truth too. And if it really ain't your business, I mean, on a whole nother level, I don't mean no funny business. If it really ain't your business, if you asking me, am I committing fornication and cheating on my wife, or I'm an alcoholic, or whatever you want to ask, you can ask. You also can ask what I believe, why I believe what I believe, and I should be able to prove it. Because 1 Thessalonians 5:21 told me to prove all things and hold fast to that which is good. told me to study, told me to have an answer for them that ask me. So you can ask. See me with a young lady out, who is this? You can ask. Is this your wife? It ain't. I mean, can I talk to you or ask? Ain't no mind your business. You got the right to, as scandalous as people is, you need to ask. Inquiring minds want to know, you deserve to know. Because you got to find out if people got an ulterior motive. Run around here, do you have an ulterior motive? I want to know if I'm doing business with you, do you have an ulterior motive? And I can see you a mile away, you just don't know I can. If you have an ulterior motive. But folks that's in the flesh automatically got an ulterior motive. Look at this. Saul said, they call him Paul, in my flesh dwelleth no good thing. He wouldn't do this flesh horn. If you're not led by the Ruach HaKodesh, you got some wickedness in you. We all got it, but some of us was delivered from it, baptized into his death to rise up to walk in the newness of life, being led by his Ruach HaKodesh, and not how we feel, not how we see it. We see things cool, don't we? We think we're pretty smart. But the word teaches there's a way to seem right unto a man, but the end thereof is the ways of death. He said, I come in my Father's name. Period. He said, you see me, you seen the Father. How then you going to ask me, show us the Father? That's John 14. They want to know where's the Father. He said, you see me, you seen the Father. They didn't understand that the Word is the Father, the Creator. In the beginning was the Word was with Yah, and the Word was Yah. And everything Yah created, he created by his Word. And the Word was made flesh. 10th verse in John said he was in the world and the world was made by him. Because it was Yah, the Father. Isaiah 9:6 say, for unto us a child is born, unto us a son is given, and the government shall be upon his shoulder. And his name shall be called Wonderful Counselor, the Mighty Father, the Everlasting Father, the Mighty Elohim, the Everlasting Father, the Prince of Peace. He was the Everlasting Father, but when he put on that body, he became the Prince of Peace. He became the Son. The Son is the Prince, y'all. The Father is the King. They didn't understand that. But he was letting them know that you ain't going to get nothing different out of my flesh because I come in my Father's name. I come for his fame. I come in the volume of the book to do what is written of me. And the Father is the one who wrote it. Yahweh men moved by the Spirit of Yah wrote the word. Peter said there's no private interpretation. Come on, somebody. I come in my Father's name on his agenda and his agenda only. And when you got somebody with their own personal agenda, then they'll sit in the pulpit and tell you, oh, we all sinners. I'm a sinner too. Joker, you need to come down out that pulpit. And them folks sitting in the pews is crazy. The blind, they both fall in the ditch. If you pimping and playing and swaying, what the heck am I following you for? Yeah, so you can milk me of 10% of my money? And that's just tithes. Then you're gonna double back for your offering. Man, you got me messed up. I'm coming in my Father's name. The Messiah wasn't messing with the flesh. He never sinned, neither was a guile found in his mouth, but he wasn't deifying humanity. He was conquering humanity to set us free. Whom the Messiah set free is free indeed. He came to set us free. When you got people that's carnal, they're going to put their spouse over Yah. Believe it. They're going to put their children over Yah. Believe it. They're going to say they ain't, though. Folks that are carnal, that got a carnal agenda, they draw nigh unto him with their mouth. They honor him with their lips. They'll sing a good one. They'll rap a good one. They'll talk a good one. They'll preach a good one. But they sure ain't going to live one. It's going to be partially kind of a little better than shooting somebody's house up unless they can put a ski mask on and get away with it. But when it comes down to being righteous for real, allowing the word to clean you up, to wash you like hyssop, that you might be white as snow, clean and pure in heart. So see, Yah, have genuine intentions. Don't have a hidden agenda, a hand behind their back, two-faced, this smile on your face, stab you in the back. In order for you to be like that, you got to be led by the Ruach HaKodesh so you can say, I'm come in my Father's name. You do something for somebody, they be leery. Like, what you doing this for? No, what you want? What you want? Because they know people. They know themselves. I know you want something because you want something. You know people. Well, y'all set it up perfectly. The perfect roadmap for us as believers is to come in our Father's name, not your own. Don't witness to me because I'm fine. Don't witness to me because I'm handsome. Don't witness to me because I got money. Don't come around here because you're trying to get something. The Messiah didn't confuse nothing. I come in my Father's name, and then he had to complain with him. And you receive me not. You don't have a problem with me. You blaming the problem on me. But you don't understand that I really did come in my Father's name. And to see me is to see the Father. You don't understand that. So who you really don't like is the Father that you worshiping. You draw nigh unto him with your mouth. You're honoring him with your mouth and your lips. But your heart, your lifestyle is far from him. You don't even like him. Because you don't know I'm in his image. Thought it not robbery to be called equal with him. Because I'm in his image. I am him in a body. And the body never went against him. And the body only preached what he told the body to preach. And even when his humanity had enough, I would that this cup pass from me. He bowed down and humbled himself, but not my will, the will of the flesh, y'all, but thy will be done. The will of the Ruach HaKodesh, which was to save the world. For Yah so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth in him should not perish but have everlasting life. Believe in what? What he was preaching. What did he preach? The word. The word was made flesh and dwelt among us. He did not let his flesh interrupt what was in him. The word was what was in him, leading and guiding him. He was representing the word, and the word is the Father. In the beginning was the word was with Yah, and the word was Yah. Yah is what he say. And everything he created it by his word. And the Son represented the word perfectly. So when you saw the Son, it was the manifestation of the word. The tangible word walking around. Saving folks. Being there for folks. Hallelujah. Said I come in my Father's name, and you receive me not. You got folks that's receiving their pastor's word, their organization word, their bishop's word. All this religious stuff going on. And you wonder why there's tornadoes and earthquakes everywhere. Volcanoes erupted. A Google fire. It's fires in America. This place is burning. Got mad men in office starting wars and just liars and racism. You got all kind of stuff. It's hitting the fan right up under your nose while you so busy being religious and not having a true relationship, having a form of godliness but denying the power thereof because of that crap that they preaching in these churches. Crap they preaching in these fellowships on these Sabbath days. Folks is preaching stuff that's not cool and is cussing each other out. Talking about one another and all that old crazy stuff. If you want to talk about something, talk about the works of the flesh. Talk about sin and tell folks how they can be delivered, how they can be changed. How we personally got to come in the Father's name, because if we don't, we're going to have an ulterior motive. We'll say dumb stuff like, how much is the honorarium? Oh, well, then I ain't coming. Man, is you crazy? Can I talk like that? Heck yeah. You got jokers running around here. Folks invite them to speak. They ask how much is the honorarium. And if it ain't enough, they going to say no. You don't know you are the devil? You don't know you have a form of godliness denying the power thereof? You don't know that if you got a title and a name, you should be nicer and entreat people? You don't know that? Because you're carnal, you're religious. And it's a turnoff to Yah. Giving him a bad name, and that's from your name. If you come in the Father's name, you wouldn't do that. You wouldn't wound people, have blood all over your hands, disrespecting and doing crazy stuff. How much is the honorarium? There's nothing wrong with asking how much is the honorarium. But when you find out it's nothing, now what? What, you ain't going to preach? Woe is me if I don't preach the gospel. Have you heard that before? It's like fire shut up in my bones. That man was going through so much, like ever since I met you, Yah, just trouble. I want to quit. He said, but it's like fire shut up in my bones. We're obligated to do the things of Yah. Folks putting the gospel in rhyme form, or folks putting the gospel in singing form, melodic structure. And now they run around here selling it on CD, and you ain't getting nothing unless you pay. They got booths in the church to where they preach the message, and the message go on a CD, and you got to buy it. Someone come up to you and say, well, I ain't got it. Ain't nothing wrong with buying it. A workman is worthy of his hire. You should support the ministry. But a person come up and say, I ain't got it. Joker won't give you the word? Could you imagine the Messiah doing that? He got the word right there. And you want it. You ask him for it. He say, you got $10. If you ain't got $10, well, I ain't giving it to you. The crap that's going on in what we call church. And we don't have no problem with it. And then we're going to be like Romans 7:21, Master, having I prophesied in thy name, which means to preach, done many wonderful works, meaning I went and carved turkeys every Thanksgiving, and I went around feeding people and doing and witnessing and doing all these wonderful works. Even they believe they cast out devils. Then he going to break the news to them. I don't even know you that work iniquity. You're full of hidden sin. You got a form of godliness, denying the power thereof, because you got an ulterior motive. Can't serve two masters. Can't serve you and Yah. That's going to make you lukewarm. You're going to be double-minded, and a double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. You praying with him and reading the word with him, then you're laying up in the bed with him. Then you apologize. Now you're back reading the word and praying with him. Then you're back in the bed with him again. A just man falls 7 times. Say you made a mistake like that. Say you made a mistake like that. I know I have. I've done that before back in the day. I had to wake to righteousness. I didn't live like that. For sure. Don't get it twisted. But I have done that. I've lied and cussed since I've been saved. But that's back in the day. It's time to grow up. It's time to wake to righteousness. Tell the truth and shame the devil. Better wake up and understand that when you're fleshly, you'll have an ulterior motive. You're going to serve you. You're going to get yours in. And a little leaven leavens the whole lump. You put a little yeast in it, the whole batch got it in it. They ain't going to just stay right there. The one that said thou shalt not steal is the same one that said thou shalt not kill. If you're guilty in one, you're guilty of all. Yah said that. The Creator said that. The Most High said that. Ain't no getting away from that. I come in my Father's name and you receive me not. When someone come in Yah's real name preaching the truth, folks don't like that. Religious folks don't. They got itchy ears. They want to hear some old dumb stuff. They want to hear... They want, I can say all kind of stuff. But anyway, they want to hear, they might even want to hear the Zodiac up in there. You know what I mean? Get your palm read in church now or something, huh? I think it's cool, huh? I come in my Father's name and you receive me not. Check this out. If another shall come in his own name, he said, him you go receive. Because you're carnal. When a carnal dude open up a church, you're going to be a member. Because you're carnal. You will be a member. You're going to love that. Preaching like this, you're going to talk about it. You don't like it. You don't want to tune in. You don't hear me. But a slick joker with oratorical skills, with the little printed out messages, getting paid, still swag, feel me, winking, blinking, slick Willie. You like that. Preacher, a pastor's appreciation. He sit up in the chair with his wife sitting next to him with them big old hats on and big cheers and all that, sitting there with a cane, sitting there, and everybody got little poems, singing little songs and cutting checks. Yeah, they like that. You ain't supposed to bow down to no man, worship no man like that. What joker is worth that? Yeah, you're supposed to support the ministry. You think the Messiah would sit up in the chair while people hitting him with a bunch of gifts and he ain't into that. When folks try to bow down to the apostles, they say, man, get up from there. I sit around talking all that you better not say no doggone poem to me about me. You better get out my doggone face. The heck wrong with you? Please. You got me messed up. Support the ministry, for sure. A workman is worthy of his hire. But you ain't finna be worshiping me. You ain't waving no palms at me. I ain't sitting up in no chair next to my wife and y'all talking. Better be quiet. Better get a praises to who is due. Huh. Better praise Yah. Come on, y'all. I'll come in my Father's name. I can't have an ulterior motive. And you can't either. Don't let the title fool you. Can't none of us have an ulterior motive and serve him. You cannot serve two masters. You're either going to love the one or hate the other. Period. Somebody going to come up short in the twist. Yah never came up short when it came to the Messiah. And it's time for us to wait to righteousness so he can stop coming up short. Because the wrath of Yah abideth on the children of disobedience. And you definitely go disobey him when you're carnal. When you got your own agenda. You come to so what they call church because you want him to do something for you. And once he do it, you out of here like last year. And that's how people treat him in these last and evil days. You got folks that's trying to serve him carnally because they're carnal. They think that what they wear, that don't mean dress like a hooker. That don't mean that. I'm not talking about that. That don't mean these little feminine clothes that they putting on men. Running around here with little skirts on, and unless you in Scotland, feel me? When in Rome, do as the Romans do. I ain't mad at you if you in Scotland and that's how they do it. You know what I mean? But if when in Rome, do what the Romans do. If you run around here and that means you're a little weird, that mean, feel me? You know what I mean? Again, people want to talk about, I was born like that. That's why the word teaches you must be born again. I was born like this. Folks was born, men born, can have 60 women. Feel me? Born like that. It wasn't done taught. It came natural. Pop your collar, holla. Yeah, but you had to let that go when you was born again. Folks was born with short temper. Some people was like even kill and cool. Some people you get cross me and it's going to be all bad for you. I'll do something to you. And I was born like that in kindergarten. I was throwing crayons, spitting spitballs in little kids' eyes and throwing sand. If you touch the toy and it's mine, I'll grab the toy and hit you in the head with a Tonka truck. Born like that. But you got to be born again. I come in my Father's name. I come in my Father's name. His agenda, not mine. Not the agenda of the flesh. I come in my Father's name and you receive me not. You don't like that. You think you don't like me, but you really don't like him because I'm telling you everything he's telling me to tell you. And it lines up with scripture perfectly. I come in my Father's name and you receive me not. You don't like this ministry, huh? And you receive me not. Take your name down off the church and that picture. And kill the denomination while you at it. I come in my Father's name. I didn't get that from me. 1 Corinthians 1:10 say, I beseech you by the name of the Messiah that you all speak the same thing, and that there be no division among you, but that you be perfectly joined together in the same mind and the same judgment. Perfectly joined together in the same mind and the same judgment. If we Philippians 2, that said, let this mind be in you that was in the Messiah, then it wouldn't be no denomination because the Messiah didn't start one. He taught against it. He taught against division, and by definition, denomination means division. And then this fake doctrine to tell you once saved, always saved. The Messiah said, if you put your hand to the plow looking back, you're not fit. There's so many scriptures that goes against it. It even shows you in the sower went to sow. The first person received the word and it was taken. The second word received it when the door for a while and then it was taken. Third person received it almost to the end and it was taken. The last person, that's why the word teaches that he that endureth to the end shall be saved. So the word is speaking for itself. And what we're supposed to be is preaching that. We're not preaching what the serpent preached. You should not surely die. Told Eve that if you go against Yah, you're not going to die. You might not die. It's not for certain that you're going to die. It might work out for you. Well, that's the same thing they're preaching now. You can sin, but you're not going to die because you're a sinner saved by grace. I come in my Father's name and you receive me not. Okay. If another shall come in his own name, his own doctrine. Cephas, they call him Peter. Said if me or an angel from heaven, any apostle, anyone, preach another gospel than which we have preached unto you, let them be a curse. Let them be a curse. Don't mess with them. No, we giving them tithes and offering. We setting up appreciation days. We fixing up the fellowship hall. We gonna have gumbo and everything. We gonna reap gifts on him, even though that goes against the word. But we gonna shower this dude down, cause I'm carnal and so is he, and this is a carnal house. A bunch of carnality, a bunch of dumb stuff jumping off. I come in my Father's name, and you receive me not. If another shall come preaching his own player stuff, his own game, his own little motivational speaker, got the little motivational speaker thing going on, come in his own name, him you will receive. When the devil set up shop in Jerusalem and saying he's the one, folks gonna flock to him. Him you shall receive. When he come in his own name, and he had a whole bunch of antichrists, whole bunch of pastors and preachers, whole bunch of religious folk that people just following, flocking after him. They gonna come in their own name, preaching their own game, pop your collar, holla, they're getting it in. Telling you can sin. They gonna come in their own name. Him you gonna receive. Because if you don't receive the truth, ain't nothing left but a lie. And you love religion, so you gonna pick you one. You gonna find something. You gonna Gahanza box or something. You gonna be yoga, bending all. You gonna be all flimsy and flexible, eating a bunch of cabbage and carrots. You gonna find something spiritual. Oh, I'm not religious. I'm spiritual. You gonna come with something. Get your palm read. Or get you some Torah cards. You looking all reading. What they come on the internet now. You don't get no newspaper, huh? Your zodiac. How your day gonna be? You gonna do something. He came in his Father's name, and you didn't mess with him, right? So if another come in their own name, even if it's a player got you out there, get my money, turned you into a ready teller. Pimping, sleeping with everybody, knock your head off. You get out of pocket and knock all your teeth out. But you rocking with him. He got your money and your time. You not forsaking the assembly with him. You gonna stay with him. You gonna stay with her. She slept with all your partners and everything. You gonna stay with her. If another shall come in his own name, own agenda. Somebody's worshiping the Raiders in the black hole. Feel me? Every Sunday. Faithfully. Buying season ticket holder. Buying all tailgating. They in it to win it. I come in my Father's name and you receive me not. If another come in his own name, working your fingers to the bone, you ain't got no time for your spirit. You just angry, evil, liar, cuss folks out, but you getting your money though. You got a doctorate degree, you're MD. If another shall come in his own name with his own game, his own corporation, his own business, his own bedroom game tight, oils and candles, Teddy Pendergrass playing in the background, come in his own name, with his own game, his own fame, you're going to receive him. Because you don't have no defense. The Ruach HaKodesh ain't working for you. Yah's spirit, you rejected that. You don't want nothing to do with that. So now you got a jacked up spouse or a jacked up man or woman. Got a job that's taking you everywhere. You ain't got no time for Yah. He that seek to save his life gonna lose it. But he that loses his life, let your life go. You'll find it if you let it go for Yah. Not for the player, not for the money, not for the fame. And he set the blueprint. He did not have an ulterior motive. He was able to serve us all the way to the death on that tree because he did not have an ulterior motive. He was 100% down with Yah. For Yah so loved the world that he gave him his only begotten son. He took on the body. He was robed as a body. He gave himself, if you got the real revelation. As a man, he became a man. Being found fashioned as a man, he humbled himself. For Yah so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son. He gave the Messiah. And the Messiah was down with it. Just like Abraham's son was, which was a light figure. His son didn't start trying to run away from him when he found out he was a sacrifice. He was down with it. A light figure of the Messiah coming. He was down with it. It was rough on him, but he was down. He said, I would that this cup pass from me, but not my will. I got feelings, but forget how I feel. If any man come after me, let him deny himself, because he showed us how. He said, forget what I'm talking about, not my will. I don't deserve this. I don't deserve to die like this. I don't deserve to be treated like this, but not my will. I'm doing this, who for the joy that was set before him endured what they called the cross. It was a tree, y'all, struos. It was a stake. It wasn't like that. It wasn't a T symbol with filled in the hole in the middle. It wasn't a cross. It was a T symbol. It was a tree. Curses he that hangeth on the tree. Read Deuteronomy 21. I think it's or is it 23rd chapter? Or is it 20? I think it's 21, 21st chapter, 22nd, 23rd verse. But y'all look it up. It's easy. It's a tree. Curses he that hang on a tree. According to Deuteronomy, that's where they got it from. The Torah. But he was down with the Father. Completely. No ulterior motive. Not my will, but thy will be done. For Yah so loved the world that he gave his begotten Son. He gave it. Gave himself. That whosoever believeth in him should not perish. Do you believe the word? Should not perish. Because believing it for real is to obey it. And you're not going to obey it if you have ulterior motive. So when he took on the body, he didn't have one. Hard to deal with people when they have an ulterior motive. You hired a babysitter. They got an ulterior motive. You want to pay them, but they want to be paid by your husband. Ulterior motive. Get rid of her. I come in my Father's name. He laid it on the table. And you receive me not. If another shall come in his own name, if you reject him, you wide open for the devil and destruction in hell. All these players, all these pimptresses, every game, every hustle, every torment, every torture is coming your way. Because if you reject him, you got a problem. Come in my Father's name and you receive me not. But if another should come in his own name, woo! He didn't say you might. He said him you will receive. All the way down to the false prophet when he set up camp. You might go get you a little rice computer in your right hand, like these crazy folks running around here doing, thinking it's convenient. They can kill you from that little rice grain in your body. They control if you eat or not. You got to do everything they say, or you got a problem. If another should come in his own name, go get your little chip. Him you will receive. How can you believe? How could you believe the truth? Which receive honor one from another. Men pleasers, y'all. Folks, you know, the world love their own. You know, they understand one another. They too busy, you know, being approved and disapproving with each other. They're not seeking the approval of the Most High. You know, their little church got a little clique. They don't care nothing about the truth. They click. I'm Kojic. You know, they click. I'm Baptist. They click. Or the little cliques inside of the clique. Each little church inside of the Methodist or the Catholicism, the Catholic. They got their little groups, and the truth can come. You know, if you ain't a part of this clique, this movement, if you ain't cutting records with us or a part of this convocation and all this dumb stuff, how can you believe? You love your pastor, your bishop too much. How could you? How can you believe? Which receive honor one of another. And you seek not the honor that cometh from Yah. He told you, curses the man that trusted man. He said, let Yah be true, but every man a liar. You ain't going to do that. How could you believe what he say? You're going to believe what your pastor say, regardless of what the words say. 45th verse, and I'm out of here, y'all. Do not think that I will accuse you to the Father. Do not think that I will accuse you to the Father. There's one that accuses you, even Moses, in whom you trust. Who you trust? You trust anyone on this earth that preaches the truth? Because Moses was about the truth. He said even he gonna accuse you. Come on, y'all. I come in my Father's name. Kill the ulterior motive. Don't work with nobody if you're a snake and you got an ulterior motive. Don't hear no ideas from nobody so you can ear hustle and get it and then take it from them. You're a thief and you can't be trusted. And don't come to Yah with an ulterior motive. He'll draw you because he loves you with ulterior, like say if you're ignoring him and he lets your marriage blow up in your face, or he lets your finances blow up in your face, or he lets you lose everything and your life is blown up in your face. And then your face turned to him. That's good because you had enough sense to turn to him. But when you get to know him, you're going to learn to come in his name. You're going to be about his agenda. You're going to be baptized into his death, and you're going to raise up to walk in the newness of life. So you can be about your Father's business. Ain't that what the Messiah said? I'm about my Father's business, and so will we. Let's be about our Father's business with no ulterior motive. Kill the ulterior motives and be solid. If you down with him, be down with him. Let's pray. Spirit of the living Yah, we love you and thank you for the opportunity to come before you with a part 2 to ulterior motive. We pray that your word will forth with clarity, falling down in the souls of your children, springing up in everlasting life. Cause us to grow and to check ourselves because your wrath is right up the street. It's going down in the town across the globe. Rescue your children. Your children hear your voice, but a stranger they will not follow. Those that belong to you, call us out of the darkness into the marvelous light and keep us, that we don't have ulterior motive, that we will be completely down with you. And all this we ask in the matchless name of Yahushua HaMashiach. Hallelujah, hallelujah, and amen.
Conference recording stopped. Conference unmuted.
If y'all want to holler, I'm on the line for a few minutes. 302-202-1102, extension 815648. Again, 302-202-1102, extension 815648. If you want to talk, you might not. If not, you're looking for a good ministry to sow into, I believe this is one. You can go to DerrickMann5857 at yahoo.com. That's DerrickMann 5857 at yahoo.com. PayPal. It's that easy. If you're looking for some good ground, believe this is it. We appreciate the support. Be Baruch and Barak Shalom. I'm out.